Right Selection, the Speakers Bureau, providing you the right speaker for your next event.
The race is on. There has never been more competition for profit in business than there is today. And the competition is going to get even more intense in the months and years ahead. Your host for this program, Brian Tracy, knows what he's talking about. Like you, he has been responsible for every aspect of building and running a profitable business. Brian has met with the customers, made the sales, and gone back to collect on the receivables. He has borrowed from the banks, personally guaranteed his loans, and laid awake at night figuring out how to make payroll. Brian has also built several businesses from scratch, starting off with an idea and a bit of borrowed money. He has studied and practiced the best techniques ever discovered for building a high-profit business, and he has taught these strategies to tens of thousands of business people and entrepreneurs worldwide. In the process, he has become a self-made millionaire. You can save yourself years of hard work and frustration by applying these 21 great ideas for higher profitability. They can change your business life forever. Now, here's Brian Tracy.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, and welcome to this program. Over the last 25 years, I have worked with hundreds of businesses, large and small, from entrepreneurial startups to Fortune 500 corporations. I've read thousands of books and articles, taken a master's degree in business, and consulted with more than 500 different businesses and organizations. I've saved or made my clients many millions of dollars over the years by helping them to apply the ideas that you're going to learn in this program. The fact is that 20% of the businesses in any industry make 80% of the profits in that industry. Some companies selling very much the same product or service in the same market earn 10 times as much as other companies. The question is, why is it that some businesses are more profitable than others? We know that there's a cause and effect relationship between corporate activities and profitability. If you do the things that profitable companies do, you soon achieve the kind of profits that profitable companies achieve. To put it another way, profitability is predictable if you can figure out how and why it occurs in your business or industry. Perhaps the most important single factor in determining the profitability of a business is the quality of the thinking of its management and leadership. In high-profit companies, the top people are focused on performance, results, and profitability every day, all day long. According to the Manager Institute, the most important single quality an executive can develop is the quality of flexibility. In times of turbulence and rapid change, such as today, your ability to remain fast, fluid, and flexible is absolutely indispensable to the survival and the success of your business. The very best thinking tool for ongoing flexibility is what I call zero-based thinking. This requires that you continually ask yourself this question over and over. Is there anything that I am doing in my business today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't start up again today if I had to do it over? Whenever you're experiencing stress, frustration, resistance, or poor results, either with products or services or people, you should stop and ask yourself this question. Is there anything that I'm doing today that, knowing what I now know, I wouldn't get into again today if I had to do it over? The inability to stop doing things that are no longer working and to discontinue people who are no longer performing is the primary reason for failure in business. On the other hand, your ability to be fast and flexible in the face of this dynamic market environment is the key to your success and to the success of your business. To put these 21 power principles into action, you must be open to the possibility that what you are doing today is no longer working or working as well in the current situation. You must learn to make the following 3 statements over and over again for the rest of your business life. First, you must learn to say the words, "I was wrong." According to the best management research, fully 70% of your decisions will turn out to be wrong in the fullness of time in any case. The sooner you realize that you are on the wrong road and admit it, the sooner you will turn back and the faster you will get to your destination of business growth and high profitability. Second, you must be willing to say the words, "I made a mistake." The fact is that people around you are usually aware that you have made a mistake, and they're just waiting for you to have the courage and character to face up to it. The sooner you admit that you have made a mistake and stop doing whatever it is, the faster you move toward your real goals. A major key to success in business, investing, and life is for you to cut your losses when you realize that you're going in the wrong direction. The third statement that you must learn to say over and over again is, "I changed my mind." The superior executive is always willing to change his or her mind in the face of new information that challenges the old ideas or the established way of doing things. The faster you change your mind and get back to doing what works, the less stress you will have and the more effective you will be. When you make a decision to set performance, results, and profitability as your highest goals in business management, and you're willing to let go of the things that are not working in order to embrace the new things that might work even better, you're on the road to building a high-profit business. Here are the 21 great ideas for high profitability based on more than 50 years of research with many thousands of corporations. The absence of any one of these 21 ideas can, in itself, undermine your profitability and even lead to the collapse of the enterprise. Number 1, develop a clear mission for your business. For you, your business, and your people to perform at a high level, everyone needs a clear vision of what the business stands for and where it is going. The first question you have to answer when defining your mission is this: why does your business exist at all? A mission must always be defined in terms of how your business serves and benefits other people. A good mission statement will contain a method by which the mission is to be achieved. In addition, a good mission statement will contain a measure so that an objective third party can assess whether or not the business is living up to the mission that it set for itself. In a study of what Ken Blanchard called the Fortunate 500, analysts discovered that the top 20% of companies in every industry over a 30-year period had clear, written values and principles that everyone knew and was committed to. In addition, the successful companies had a mission statement that everyone agreed to. Other companies had values and missions as well, they found, but either they were not written down or nobody really knew what they were. For example, to apply for the Baldrige Award for quality, you must fill out a 50-page application form and then invite Baldrige inspectors to walk around your company for several months. The inspectors are empowered to stop any employee at any level and ask that employee what the values, vision, and mission of the company are. Now here's the kicker. 95% of all the employees that the Baldrige inspectors interview must be able to give the answer without referring to notes. Establishing a clear mission for your company based on the values that you believe in and which you refuse to compromise is the equivalent to digging a deep concrete foundation for a building before you begin construction. The good news is that you can go back at any time and build this foundation and begin putting your business future on a solid basis. So, what are your corporate values? What is your vision for your company in the years ahead? What is your mission, and how will you know that you have accomplished it? Why does your company exist in the first place? What great service is your enterprise committed to offering to the world? These are the most important questions of all in building a high-profit business. Number 2, determine exactly what business you are in. It's absolutely amazing how many people are not quite sure what business they are in, even though they work in that business all day long. Now, you always define your business from the point of view of your customer. You always define the business you are in terms of what your products or services do for your customer. What effects do your products or services have in the lives and work of your customer? What are the specific benefits that your customers enjoy from using your products or services? For example, at one time the railroads dominated cross-country transportation in the United States, but they defined themselves as being in the business of running railroads. In reality, their mission, their purpose should have been to move people and freight over long distances in the very best way possible at the very best prices. But because their vision of their business was so limited, bus companies, trucking companies, shipping companies, and eventually airline companies were able to move in and dominate the transportation industry, especially in the high-profit areas of moving people and moving mail. So, what business are you in today from the point of view of your customer? In addition, what business will you be in tomorrow with the way things are going in your industry? Or, what business should you be in if you want to survive and thrive in this dynamic and competitive environment? And finally, what business could you be in if you were to make the critical changes necessary to lead your field? Remember, the very best way to predict the future is to create it. And, as Michael Cammie, the strategic planner, once said, "Those who do not plan for the future cannot have one." Whatever business you are in today, it is probably going to change dramatically in the years ahead. Your job is to be a master of this change, not a victim. Determining exactly the business you are in and being willing to change to be a major player in this business is a major key to your profitability. Number 3, determine exactly who your customer is. This is the central question of all marketing, sales, and profitability. The ability to accurately answer this question, who is my customer, is the primary determinant of the success of your business. Define your customer as accurately and as precisely as you can. For example, what is your customer's age, education, income, position in their business or company or industry, value base, philosophy, and background? Where exactly is your customer located geographically? Where is he or she located within specific businesses or organizations? Especially, what does your customer consider value? What is your customer willing to pay for? What does your customer want or need that he or she is not now getting from someone else? Why does your potential customer buy from your competitors? What would you have to do to get your non-customers to switch to your products or services? What special benefits would you have to offer them? Keep practicing zero-based thinking with your customers and with your markets. If you were not now serving this market with these products and services, would you start up again today? And who is your customer likely to be tomorrow, next year, in 5 years? Who could your customer be if you were to change your product or service offerings? Who should your customer be if you want to be a high-profit business in the future? Finally, what changes do you need to make in your business to be able to attract and keep the high-profit customers of tomorrow? This is perhaps the most important question that you ask and answer day after day in building and maintaining a high-profit business. Number 4, develop competitive advantage or don't compete. This is very important. Your business depends for its very survival on your ability to develop and maintain a meaningful competitive advantage of some kind. What is it that your company does really well? Where do you perform at a high level? What is the area of excellence of your key products or services? Your competitive advantage is the aspect of your product or service that makes you superior in a meaningful way to your competitors. Your area of competitive advantage is always defined in terms of what your customer wants, needs, and is willing to pay for. Every company that survives and thrives has a specific and valued competitive advantage that customers recognize and appreciate. Every company that gets into trouble is a company that has either lost its competitive advantage relative to its competitors in the marketplace, or it's a company that never had one at all. Your ability to develop, maintain, and protect your competitive advantage is the absolutely indispensable prerequisite for company growth and high profitability. And since your market is changing so rapidly, you must continually ask, what will my competitive advantage be tomorrow based on the way things are going? What should your competitive advantage be if you want to rise to the top of your field? What could your competitive advantage be if you were to make the necessary changes in your product and service offerings? Jack Welch of General Electric is famous for his belief that you must be either number 1 or number 2 in your industry, or you must get out and concentrate your resources where becoming number 1 or 2 is possible. He says, if you don't have competitive advantage, don't compete. The major competitive advantages today are faster, cheaper, or easier, or all three, combined with superb and timely customer service. All the most successful and most profitable companies offer high-quality products and services, and they offer them quickly. In addition, they give excellent customer service which they continually improve. As the result, they are amongst the most profitable and fastest-growing companies in their industries. And so should you be. Number 5, take a long-term view of the business. Your ability to think well about your business today and about your business in the future have an inordinate impact on the success and profitability of your enterprise in the moment. All top executives are long-term thinkers. They project forward 5 years and they think about where they want to be and what they will have to be doing at that time in order to achieve those goals. The best work on strategic planning today is being done by Gary Hamel and Gary Prahaled. Their contribution to business thinking centers on their idea that in order to lead your field in the future, you will have to develop specific core competencies that you probably do not have today. The key to long-term strategic thinking is for you to identify the core competencies you will require and then begin immediately to either develop or to acquire those core competencies so that you will be strongly positioned for the markets and competition of the future. Peter Drucker, the management consultant, says that he never makes predictions. He merely looks at what is going on already and identifies the likely consequences in the years ahead. You should do the same. What are the trends in your business? Where is your market going based on what you know today? How is your market changing with regard to people, technology, products, services, finances, and competition? What new capabilities and skills will you need 3 to 5 years from now to be at the top of your field? What steps will you have to take today in order to begin developing those skills and abilities that you will need tomorrow? Your job is to stand back, think about the future, and then begin taking steps in the short term to guarantee that you will achieve the profitability that you desire in the long term. This ability to think long term has never been more important or more valuable than it is today. It is a real key to profitability. Number 6, develop a clear sense of direction. You've heard it said that when you are up to your you-know-what in alligators, it's hard to remember that you came here to drain the swamp. Because of the turbulence of today's marketplace, most executives and managers have been reduced to operating, almost like firefighters on a daily basis. They are totally preoccupied with short-term problems and the need to get short-term operating results. They intend to spend more time thinking and planning for the future, but they don't ever seem to get around to it. They never have time, and they are too busy to make time. But this is not for you. You need to set clear targets for yourself and for every part of your business. In fact, perhaps your most important responsibility to your people is to give them a clear sense of direction in their work. They need this to perform at their best, and they can't do their best without it. In fact, according to psychologists, the greatest single demotivator in the world of work is not knowing what's expected, or not being clear about your goals. There's a simple 5-part formula for developing a sense of direction that you can use for the rest of your career. It's called the GOSPA formula. The 5 letters in the word GOSPA stand for goals, objectives, strategies, priorities, and activities. Let's start with the word goals. A goal is a specific place where you want to end up at the end of a specific period of time. For example, your goal could be a certain volume of sales or a certain level of profitability at the end of a quarter or the end of a year. The letter O stands for objectives. These are the sub-goals that you will have to accomplish in order to achieve your longer-term goal. If your 1-year goal is a certain dollar level of profitability, your objectives could be in the areas of sales, marketing, distribution, manufacturing, cost control, staff development, technology, and so on. By achieving these objectives, the goals are achieved as well. The third letter in GOSPA, S, stands for strategies. Your strategy is the method that you are going to use to accomplish the objective on the way to your goal. For example, with regard to sales, your strategy could be to build an internal sales force, or your strategy could be to outsource all selling to a professional sales organization. And there could be numerous sub-strategies within the single sales strategy. The fourth letter in the GOSPA formula, P, stands for priorities. What are the things that you will have to do first, and what are the things that you will have to do second? Which items are more important and which items are less important? You always have to be setting priorities. The final letter in the GOSPA formula is A, which stands for activities. These are the specific daily functions that are clearly delegated to specific individuals with standards of performance and specific deadlines. If you have thought out this process completely, each activity will be determined by the current priorities. The achievement of the priorities will lead to the accomplishment of the strategy. When your strategy is carried out, you will achieve your objectives, and At the end of the time period, you will have reached your goal of a specific level of sales or profitability. One of the primary qualities of executives in high-profit businesses is that they think and act strategically at all times. They are always playing down the board. They are always thinking about the future and about the various different things that they can do to make their desired future a reality. Number 7, focus on key profit areas. One of the keys to high profitability in your business is for you to focus more and more time and energy on producing and delivering the products and services that yield the highest possible profit to your organization. One of the reasons for failure in business is that the company diversifies too much, spreads its energies and resources over too many products, and ends up producing too many things that contribute only marginal amounts to the bottom line. You know exactly what I mean. Too many companies are offering too many products and services at too many price points to too many different markets in too many different ways. The proper strategy is for you to focus and concentrate your corporate resources on those specific areas where the highest levels of profitability are possible. Make a list of every product or service that you offer. Gather all of the costs that are involved in bringing that product or service to the market. Examine the level of sales volume of that product, and then determine exactly how much profit you make for each one of those products and services that you sell. If you haven't done this analysis before, you are in for a big surprise. You will find that if you have a dozen products and services, one of those products and services yielding more profit than any of the others. You will find that 20% of your products or services are yielding 80% of the total profits of the business. You'll also find that the 80% of products and services that are only giving you 20% of the profits are probably consuming 80% of your costs of operation. When you do the analysis, it is often surprising and sometimes shocking. Then, because you're a long-term thinker, you should ask, what are going to be the high-profit products or services of tomorrow? What are the trends? What will we have to do today to be in a position to dominate the high-profit markets of the future? This is a major key to profitability. Number 8, set clear performance targets. Remember, what gets measured gets done. You need clear performance targets, targets that are quantifiable and measurable. You can't hit a target that you can't see. It's absolutely amazing how many people in every organization have no real idea how to measure their performance. This is a major source of demoralization, underachievement, and unhappiness. Human beings have what is called a subconscious urge to completion. In order to be happy, people have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end to every task. One of the most important jobs you have is to set standards of performance for every task and every activity. It is for you to establish clear lines of responsibility, schedules, and deadlines for the accomplishment of specific jobs. And then, your job is to make sure that everyone does what they are supposed to do to the required standard on the required schedule. High-performance, high-profit organizations are companies where everyone knows exactly what they are supposed to do, when they are supposed to do it, and how they will be measured. All rewards and bonuses in top companies are tied to clear, measurable performance. This leads to high levels of motivation, commitment, and enthusiasm amongst everybody who's working toward the achievement of these clear goals. Number 9. Manage by wandering around. The best executives spend 75% of their time walking around and interacting with their staff. This enables them to get accurate and timely feedback about what is really going on, long before it ever appears on a report or a monthly statement. Lou Gerstner turned IBM around within 1 year by freeing up the sales managers from paperwork and sending them out into the field with their salespeople to visit customers and make sales. Since in the final analysis, it's only revenue growth that leads to high profitability, within 1 year, IBM had turned around completely. Hold staff meetings at least once a week. Discuss what everybody is doing and how it is going. Meet with your individual staff members on a regular basis, daily if possible, even if just for a few minutes. Keep your door open and keep the flow of communication going. In this way, you will know everything that is going on, and you will always be in a position to move fast whenever quick action on your part is advisable or necessary. This is a major key to high profitability. Number 10. Develop an obsession with customer service. There's a direct relationship between the philosophy of the executives and the way that staff treats the customer. In excellent organizations, for example, the key people look upon the customers as special and important in every way. This philosophy or tone permeates the entire organization and affects everybody's behavior toward the customers. Today, we have entered the age of the customer as never before. Today, customers will walk away from us after having been with us for years if someone else will serve them better or cheaper or easier. Every day, the bar on customer service is being raised by our competitors, and we have to continue to jump higher just to keep our place in line. There are 4 levels of customer service in your business. The first is just to meet expectations. But if all you do today is meet expectations, you are living on borrowed time. The second level of customer service is to exceed expectations. Your ability to exceed expectations will keep you in the market for a little while longer, but you are a sitting duck for a competitor who can do it better. The third level of customer expectations is for you to delight your customers by doing things for them faster and more cheerfully than they could have possibly expected. The fourth level of customer service, the very best of all, is for you to amaze your customers, for you to do things for them that surprises them so much that they tell other people about their experiences. It is the individuals and organizations that delight and amaze their customers that own the markets of the future. Your responsibility is to set these standards within your organization. Your job is to continually emphasize how important your customers are and both encourage and reward every single person who demonstrates this attitude in dealing with customers. This is a real key to high profitability. Number 11, put a strong emphasis on sales and marketing. The key to high profitability is high sales. The key to business success is high sales. The key to high stock prices and a great future for yourself and others is high sales. On the other hand, the primary reason for business failure is low sales. The primary cause for stress, frustration, firings, takeovers, and bankruptcies is low sales. In the best companies, the sales and marketing people are the most respected people of all. They are paid well and promoted faster. The entire company thinks and talks about sales and customers all the time, all day long. The keys to great sales are simple. First, hire well. The best companies have the best salespeople, and They have the best salespeople because they hire them very carefully. Second, train them thoroughly. The best and most profitable companies have the most advanced sales training programs. The worst companies do no sales training at all. Third, manage them professionally. A good sales and marketing team is like a crack military organization. It has great officers and great leadership. Your ability to build that top line higher and higher is the key to profitability, without which nothing else will work. Number 12, appoint and support strong, effective key executives. Leadership makes the critical difference in every organization. 28 chief executive officers have been fired from Fortune 500 corporations in the last few years. In every case, according to the research, the ultimate reason given for the firing was failure to perform. And the major reason these senior executives failed to perform was because they appointed weak managers and executives under them who they did not have the courage to replace when the results failed to materialize. There is nothing that brings about a more rapid change in the fortunes of a business than to change the key people in charge of getting results. Top executives are always future-oriented, goal-oriented, result-oriented, solution-oriented, and action-oriented. Top executives have high levels of energy and they are continually in motion. They take high levels of initiative and are always looking for ways to go the extra mile, to exceed expectations, to do more than anyone expects. The fastest way for you to move to the front in your business is for you to do more than you are paid for you to either ask for or grab additional responsibility and then focus on getting more and better results than anyone expected. A company can only achieve high profits if it has competent executives in every key position. The absence of just one key executive in one key position can be enough to cause the company to underperform and sometimes to fail. Number 13, staff well at all levels. The best companies have the best people. The second best companies have the second best people. The third best companies are on their way out of business. Your ability to select good people and then to manage them well is the critical determinant of the success of your business. People are everything. 95% of your success will be determined by the people you hire for key positions. 95% of your problems will come from having put the wrong people in the wrong positions. The rule is for you to hire slow and fire fast. Interview people at least 3 times and check their references carefully. Take your time. Be patient. And once you have hired a person, provide someone to work with that person full-time until he or she feels comfortable with the job. Fortunately, you can learn how to interview and hire good people. It is a key skill, a key result area. Your ability to pick excellent people can be the major factor in your success as an executive and in the profitability of your company. Number 14, teach, train, and develop your people. The rule is that you cannot expect people to perform at high levels unless they have been thoroughly trained to perform at those levels. The highest profit companies in America spend the largest amount on training. The companies that are marginal or going out of business spend little or nothing on training. Xerox Corporation conducted a study on the effectiveness of their training programs recently. They found that they are getting $22 back to the bottom line for every dollar they invest in training their people. IBM did a similar study and found that they are getting $26 back to the bottom line for every dollar they invest in their people. And Motorola found that they are getting as much as $33 back for every dollar they invest in their people. Resolve today to turn your company into a learning organization. The top 20% of companies in America, according to the American Society for Training and Development, spend 3% or more of their gross revenues on training the people who are expected to generate and process those revenues. How does this number compare with the amount that you spend in your company? The president of a Fortune 500 company said recently that our only source of sustainable competitive advantage is our ability to learn and apply new ideas faster than our competition. This is a real key to profitability. Only do those things that you can do in an excellent fashion. If you cannot do it in an excellent fashion, better than any of your competitors, and you don't have the resources to bring your standards up to that level, you should not be in that area of business at all. Demand the best of yourself, of your people, and of your products and services. Be absolutely relentless in your pursuit of quality. Tell everyone around you that product and service quality are essential. Make any sacrifice, any price, and even take any loss if necessary to keep up your high standards. This will add to your profitability as much or more than any other single factor. Number 20. Dedicate resources to research and development. Successful companies spend 10% or more of their gross revenues on research and development activities aimed at bringing new products and services to the market. 3M, for example, aims to have 20% of their revenues each year coming from new products developed within the last 5 years. The fastest growing companies in America, especially high-tech, only possible with a senior executive focus, combined with substantial budgets on developing the products and services of tomorrow. Here's a good exercise for you. Assume that your primary revenue generator today, your primary product or service, will be obsolete and out of the market within 3 to 5 years. What will be your next major product or service? What are you developing for tomorrow to replace your top-selling products of today? Every year, leading companies are pushed to smaller competitors who are willing to take large sums into R&D and who have managed to jump to the lead position in the industry. You remember Satchel Paige, the baseball player, once said, "Don't look back. Something might be gaining on you." In today's dynamic marketplace, your competitors are racing to get ahead of you 24 hours a day. You have to run twice as fast just to stay where you are. And number 21, create great morale in your organization. There was a study completed a few years ago entitled A Great Place to Work. In this study, they interviewed many thousands of employees to ask what constituted a great job and a great company. Here are the answers. First, the work was challenging and interesting. Second, there was a high level of trust and support, which was demonstrated in that the managers did not criticize people for making mistakes. This was an extremely important part of a great place to work. Third, people felt that they were in the know. The company had wide open communications in all directions, and everybody felt as if they were active participants in everything that was going on. Fourth, in a great place to work, employees felt as if their boss cared about them as a person rather than just as an employee. The boss practiced consideration, courtesy, and kindness at all times. Fifth, the happiest employees said that they knew exactly what they were supposed to do, and to what standard, and by what time. Finally, in a great place to work, people felt that there were opportunities for advancement based on hard work and excellent performance rather than on politics and personalities. Your job is to create a place where people feel terrific about themselves. Your job is to create a morale environment where people are enthusiastic about coming to work. Your job is to be a positive, supportive, and at the same time, result-oriented boss. These are the ingredients necessary to create a great morale, high productivity, high levels of creativity, and a loyal staff. Summarize this message with a few key points. Perhaps the most important idea here is that the real key to business success is leadership. The key to leadership is for you to accept 100% responsibility for results, with no excuses, no complaining, and no blaming of other people. The most important thing a leader can do is to lead by example. Be a role model for the people around you. Continually ask yourself this question: what kind of a company would this company be if everyone in it was just like me? Whatever your answer to that question, make sure that if everyone behaved the way you did, this would be a great place to work. Open to new ideas all the time. Be willing to try something new and different with no guarantees. Read, learn, discuss, and seek for good ideas everywhere. Invite and encourage suggestions and input from everyone. Finally, become extremely action-oriented. What is called a continuous offensive. They are always trying new things, always moving forward. They have a sense of urgency and a bias for action. Resolve today to build an exciting, happy, high-energy, high-profit organization. When you follow these 21 great ideas, you will be doing what thousands of other executives have done to build great businesses. No real limits to what you can accomplish except for the limits you place on yourself. Good luck. Now, I'd like to give you a free gift as a way of saying thank you for being a loyal supporter of mine and a determined continuous learner. So find out what I've been working on lately and receive your special at www.briantracy.com/learner. That's www.briantracy.com/learner. Just go there right now and see what I've got for you. Thanks again for listening. I look forward to talking to you and maybe even seeing you soon.
Right Selection, the Speakers Bureau, providing you the right speaker for your next event.
Set is contained in the way your customers think about you, talk about you, and describe you to others when you're not there. To achieve high profitability, you should think through and decide clearly how you want to be seen and thought about in place. You must then reorganize every part of your business so that you create the impression that is most conducive to high levels of repeat sales and high profitability of your most important products and services. A reputation for quality in everything you do will help you more than any other single reputation in selling more and more of your products and services to more and more customers. Never relax your striving for ever higher levels. Only do those things that you can do in an excellent fashion. If you cannot do it in an excellent fashion, better than any of your competitors, and you don't have the resources to bring your standards up to that level, you should not be in that area of business at all. Demand the best of yourself, of your people, and of your products and services. Be absolutely relentless in your pursuit of quality. Tell everyone around you that product and service quality are absolutely essential. Make any sacrifice, and even take any loss if necessary to keep up your high standards. This will add to your profitability as much or more than any other single factor. Number 20. Dedicate resources to research and development. Successful companies spend 10% or more of their gross revenues on research and development activities aimed at bringing new products and services to the market. 3M, for example, aims to have 20% of their revenues each year coming from new products developed within the last 5 years. The fastest growing companies in America, especially high-tech, possible with a senior executive focus, combined with substantial budgets on developing the products and services of tomorrow. Here's a good exercise for you. Assume that your primary revenue generator today, your primary product or service, will be obsolete and out of the market within 3 to 5 years. What will be your next major product or service? What are you developing for tomorrow to replace your top-selling products of today? Every year, leading companies are pushed to smaller competitors who are willing to take sums into R&D and who have managed to jump to the lead position in the industry. You remember Satchel Paige, the baseball player, once said, "Don't look back. Something might be gaining on you." In today's dynamic marketplace, your competitors are racing to get ahead of you 24 hours a day. You have to run twice as fast just to stay where you are. And number 21, create great morale in your organization. There was a study completed a few years ago entitled A Great Place to Work. In this study, they interviewed many thousands of employees to ask what constituted a great job and a great company. Here are the answers. First, the work was challenging and interesting. Second, there was a high level of trust and support, which was demonstrated in that the managers did not criticize people for making mistakes. This was an extremely important part of a great place to work. Third, people felt that they were in the know. The company had wide-open communications in all directions, and everybody felt as if they were active participants in everything that was going on. Fourth, in a great place to work, employees felt as if their boss cared about them as a person rather than just as an employee. The boss practiced consideration, courtesy, and kindness at all times. Fifth, the happiest employees said that they knew exactly what they were supposed to do, and to what standard, and by what time. Finally, in a great place to work, people felt that there were opportunities for advancement based on hard work and excellent performance rather than on politics and personalities. Your job is to create a place where people feel terrific about themselves. Your job is to create a morale environment where people are enthusiastic about coming to work. Your job is to be a positive, supportive, and at the same time, result-oriented boss. These are the ingredients necessary to create a great morale, high productivity, high levels of creativity, and a loyal staff. Summarize this message with a few key points. Perhaps the most important idea here is that the real key to business success is leadership. The key to leadership is for you to accept 100% responsibility for results, with no excuses, no complaining, and no blaming of other people. The most important thing a leader can do is to lead by example. Be a role model for the people around you. Continually ask yourself this question: what kind of a company would this company be if everyone in it was just like me? Whatever your answer to that question, make sure that if everyone behaved the way you did, this would be a great place to work. Be open to new ideas all the time. Be willing to try something new and different with no guarantees. Read, learn, discuss, and seek for good ideas everywhere. Invite and encourage suggestions and input from everyone. Finally, become extremely action-oriented.